The one thing everyone ignores. Hello everybody, my name is Marco Bagnoli, I'm a cinematographer, and there's one thing no one talks about. Everybody is online talking about lenses, lights, composition, but there's one specific thing you have to consider before you even touch the camera. In this video I'm going to break down a commercial for you, and while explaining I will show you the secret what I'm talking about. This is the first shot, and the first thing you notice is probably, oh yeah, this shot looks cinematic. But how do we prepare a shoot like this? First things first, camera, settings, how do I set up a shot like this? A lot of people dismiss these focal lengths. There are not many people anymore that shoot above 50mm. A lot of young filmmakers don't do it anymore because of social media, 9:16 aspect ratio. You need space. That's the reason why we're shooting on those 24mm, 40mm, 10mm. It gets wider every year. But on a narrative space, using tight lenses, 75, 85, 100, 135mm, gives us this nice compression. As you can see, the wall in the background comes really close, and also the foreground, and it really sandwiches our actor in the center, and we have full focus on him. Also nice roll off. As you can see, the focus is only on his face and his shoulders are already getting blurred. I think that's a really cool look that are still used in a lot of movies, like I said before, narrative work, and it's great for conversation, a dialogue, and also just to enhance the importance of a shoot. When you shoot everything wide angle, there's this one scene where everything gets closer, more compact. The scene gets a little bit more weight, and for a lot of scenarios this is really important. Then the next thing you have to do when you want to look like this, expose for the highlights. Today there's no reason at all to not expose for the highlights, because every camera out there from 1,000 euro has a log format, or even 500 euro when you use something used. They all have a dynamic range from 12, 13, 14 stops, and most of the time now we are safe. The only thing you have to add is the light. But the roll off and the look now looks perfectly fine. So when you have a big location where you have to shoot through windows, always expose for them. Then the problem you have is the ground exposure of the room gets really dark, and you have to counter it with big lights. So you will probably place outside. It depends clearly on the time of the day. Is it a cloudy day? Is this a bright day? You will put big lights, the strongest ones you have most of the time on a big shoot where you have a lot of budget, M40, M19 or 18 kilowatt lamps. Just blast the light back into the scenery, just on the ground, just get a bit of texture on there, on the ground exposure. And there will be one light most of the time that it's hitting the actor, and you put a diffusion in between to get a little bit nicer roll off, because everything looks more natural when you still use the logic of the room. So when there's a window, there's a window, and there somewhere's a window, the light has to come from there. This is what gives you this natural cinematic look. Then also when you have windows, your light source at the end of the day, your diffusion should have a similar size. So if someone stands in the area of the windows and they're like this big, you put a butterfly diffusion here in this situation, probably something like 8x8, 6x6 butterfly frame in between with a half silk, and let your big light shoot through there, and then you get a nice highlight roll off that looks natural. But probably he would be still bright on the side. So to counter all the slight leaks in the room, you have to put neck fill on the side to just cut off this side of his face. Then to create more depth, most of the time in a shot like this we have something in the foreground, but always black it out. Don't add a light, remove light if you can, because we want to focus on this face. The audience just has to have the feeling that something is here, so that we get the feeling of depth. But we don't want visual interest on it, because it will remove our attention from him. But we want the attention on him because he's the main actor. So this is seen from a different character, and what I like about this shot is the negative space on this side. Put the shot on thirds. I a little bit messed up the center, but you know what I mean. We have a lot of negative space on this side. Normally, a lot of people will put the important thing, which is the gas station, on the thirds and just add a little bit of negative fill on this side. But negative space is nice. It tells story because now we have the feeling, not this side is important, maybe this side is important, or something is coming from here. So at first glance, it doesn't seem like the better composition, but actually for the situation and the story you want to tell, it is probably better. Also here, when you have a scenery where here, it's probably pretty dark actually in here when you're exposed for the sky, even at an overcast day. But it's 2026, we have DaVinci Resolve, we are all great at color grading, we have nice denoiser, just expose for here, and everything you want brighter on this side, you can just boost in post. On a day like this where you have such even exposure, it will make zero difference. Then there's the scene of the same guy here with super clear sky in the background and extremely saturated. I don't think you see that often this type of situation for the sky and skin tones, but it's really intense and impulsive scene for me. And to get a look like this, it's actually pretty difficult in my opinion, because like I said before, you have to expose for the sky, and he would be on a type like this, on a day like this, you'd be completely dark. There wouldn't be any detail at all. So what they've done here is, as you can see, the light is so soft, they put a big butterfly and shot just a big light through it. So there's probably just, when here is the light, one little diffusion in between, shoots through the light, exposes butterfly on a, should even say it's a full grid cloth, maybe something like this. Just try to get exposure on him, and that's how you get on bright daylight this really popping effect. Or other possibility is they turn it around and the sun is blasting directly at his face and just put a big, like I said before, grid cloth, or maybe can go for a half, but I think that looks really, really smooth. Diffusion in front of it. And now we get this nice roll off and this nice popping look with great saturation. This is actually a car commercial, and here is a car that starts drifting around our actor. And here again, we have this really compressed lens. The trick when you're shooting car videos, you always use something in the area of 50, 85, maybe 35 millimeter lenses, because it keeps the look of the car pretty much real, and also every stunt looks a little bit more extreme, because now he can be 20 meters far away and do the circuits around him, but with a longer lens it just looks like he's really a few centimeters in front of him. I shot car videos where there was people from the marketing of the car company on set, and they said they often have a problem that they use on commercials wider lenses and would really distorts the form of the car, and many companies don't like that and have to discuss on set, why didn't we shoot it like this? But that's just one thing that can happen. That has not to be every car company out there that does things like this. So we're going back to this image because I wanted to tell you what is the reason why this shot looks amazing or cool or cinematic. And it's maybe a little bit unspectacular for you, but it's actually the guy. There were so many shoots where everything looked cool and amazing lit, amazing lenses, amazing camera, amazing cinematography, but the person in front just looks boring. A lot of people just have this charisma on camera that look interesting, like this guy with the red hair, with the facial expression, the just overall look of the person. Always try to have interesting persons in front of the camera for a commercial. That's the reason why when you watch TV and look always commercials, there are most of the time people, they look very exotic for Western standards and have interesting style, interesting hair, special faces. Try to find cool humans for your project. It will increase your production value by a lot, because it's overall it just gets more interesting to look at. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a subscription from you. We have daily upload. My name is Marco Bagnoli, and see you next time.